So, a warm welcome to everyone watching this interview. This is Rohith Murali from Guindy Times, the official campus magazine of CEG, AC Tech, and SAP. So, as part of Club Founders series, we have Mr. Karthikeyan Malaisamy, who was one of the co founders of Quizzers Anonymous Club, the official quiz club of CEG. First of all, could you please introduce yourself briefly?
Yeah, sure. Karthikeyan, I was the founding president for Users Anonymous, the official quiz club of CEG. We did it during my final year. Currently, I'm working as a product manager in Microsoft.
Oh, that's great. So, when was the club formed and what actually aspired you to come up with such an initiative?
Yeah, so quizzing was an activity that our college is known for a very long time. You can search for ESPN sports quiz in YouTube, and you will find people from early 90s or late 90s or 2000s participating in quiz competition in YouTube, along with competing against IITs and IITs. So we've been doing this for a long time, and our college has a long-standing quizzing tradition, but there is no formal initiative to set processes in place to conduct, or who will be the POCs to go and reach out if you want to do a quiz or what happens. Everything was informal. So a bunch of enthusiasts from my year. So I was in final year, and a bunch of my immediate juniors, we all formed together as a group and approached the student uh, advisor. I guess it was Professor Swaminathan, and we asked him, "Sir, we need to start a quiz club because of so and so reason." And yeah, he was considering that request politely, and we had to find a student advisor. So the club should have a staff advisor, and we had Professor Sanjeevi from Geology department, and he has been extremely helpful in helping us drive this proposal. And uh, Professor Narayana Swami was the dean at that time, I believe. And yeah, so all these three people were instrumental in helping us drive this proposal forward, and it's all a a group effort from me. I'm the only final year student in the founding member team, and then a bunch of my immediate juniors, and we all put together a proposal, and it was finally accepted, and that was the start of Quizzes Anonymous. But the Quizzes Anonymous, the word, it came from our super seniors or the seniors way before them. They coined this term called Quizzes Anonymous using some pop cultural reference, and that's how we wanted to just inherit that tradition. And we all stay in touch these days. There are active WhatsApp groups across years, like people who are married and with kids. They are also with us, actively talking about, participating in ad hoc informal questions, quizzes, all those things. Yeah, fun times, and yeah, quizzing is a lot of fun.
Okay, that's nice. So, what was your vision and mission at the time you co founded the club?
Yeah, so uh, the reason for forming this quiz club was quizzing is an activity that had its own fair share of traction and erosion as the years went by. So in my year, there were handful of quizzes, and I was very serious about it. But there were people who considered it as a hobby. But in my immediate junior year, there were tens of people. Like you can find solid 10, 20 strong quizzers who traveled to competitions, symposiums across the city. Even they traveled and won Tapni, the quiz on the beach, and people travel to IIT Bombay to attend cultural fest. I guess it's called Mood Indigo. And yeah, so there are huge enthusiasm in my immediate junior batch. And this is a trend that we have seen in CEG. There is a batch that has a lot of quizzes, and then a couple of batches won't have as many quizzes. Suddenly, there is an influx of a lot of quizzes. But if you have a formal organization in place, you can coordinate this enthusiasm and probably bring in more people into the fold who are completely new to quizzing, who wants to start quizzing when they come to CEG. And we wanted to formalize this activity and sort of be a gateway for people to get into quizzing and then amplify the interest. So that was the motive with which we started, and it turned out to be well in the years that came after that.
Okay. So, is there any other specific reason, behind choosing this name for the club, and does it have any other significance?
Yeah, as I told earlier, it was primarily our super seniors used this term as their team name, or to use this as a. So when we go out to quiz in open quizzes or inter college quiz, we need to come up with a team name for people to identify. So usually quizzing is done in a pair or a 3-member team, things like that. And there are legendary names in quizzing circles that just goes very viral because people can identify. If you see idli sambar vada, and everyone knows it's a team of some QFI quizzers, and they are very good at landmark annual open quiz happens in Chennai. Similarly, our seniors had this name called Quizzers Anonymous, and that name really it had a rhythm to it, and we could tell that it had this posh feel or also style of fragrance to it, and we thought, okay, that's really good. We will just take it, and it worked out for us. Yeah, but nobody asked any question. No, none of the administrative professors or officials asked, hey, what is this anonymous or anything. So everyone was supportive, so we just let it slide by, and yeah, now we are officially called that like that. And after the club founding, and we did a lot of events, and everyone seems to be noticing, so it's all good.
Nice. So, could you actually walk us through the formal procedures that were actually required, and you would have faced few hurdles in order to, officially form the club in college, right? So, could you explain
Yeah,
about that?
so the hurdle part was it's primarily to you need to build a strong case of why you need to form a new club, and that's where our initial struggle was. So we wrote a 12 page document saying the reasons for starting this club, and that was revived and edited by with the help of our staff advisor Professor Sanjeevi sir, and we took it to Professor Swaminathan, and he wanted to make some corrections, and finally it went to the dean's table, and his signature started this. So this was the first part of the whole struggle. The second part came where we need to kickstart the event, and we need to announce to the college, hey, we have started a new club. So we wanted to do a small ceremony, and we did it in Tag Auditorium. We wanted to find a chief guest, and this is where our connection really helped. So we had a huge support from our alumni base, who are all past quizzers, who are passed out students. And one of them, Uchu Vignesh, so he helped us in getting Dr. Sumant C. Raman, and he's known as political analyst today, but he's been doing a lot of BSNL weekly sports quizzes in Doordarshan, and he's known to be a very avid quiz master. So we got him as a chief guest, and he was the one who presided over the inauguration ceremony, and it went well. It went really well, and I saved those photographs, and it really brings back all those beautiful memories from my final year of college. So yeah, the two phases where we faced a struggle is putting together this show of launching the club, and then the first step to get the approval from administration.
That's nice. Um, so, would you like to share any of your memorable moments that were associated with the club during, your
Yeah,
final year?
certainly. We do. So the club formation of club happened as an event in my final year, but I've been associated with the quizzing members from my senior batch and junior batches throughout my 4 years in CEG. And quizzing has always been very memorable experience for me, because I somehow feel like that is something I did right, or something that I put my heart and soul into during 4 years of college, apart from everything else. So we do yearly marathon events. Marathon event means on a single day, a lot of people, everyone gathers and everyone brings 5-10 questions, and then they all project those questions and conduct a quiz to everyone else. So each individual becomes a quiz master and we all take turns. And that is a very memorable marathon event that happened during the quizzing years. And we did a quiz to the CLRI Institute. So there is a leather research institute just adjacent to ACT, in the neighboring road. And due to our branding and social media presence, again with the help of our wonderful juniors, they reached out to us. They asked us, "Hey, can you conduct a quiz competition for our employees for our annual event?" And we agreed. So we put together a complete quiz show, and we were the quiz masters, like bunch of 18, 19-year-olds. And then the employees of CLRA, this is a Central Leather Research Institute, they are the audience, and then they were the participants. And we did in the huge auditorium in CLRA. It looks like a theater, and we did the quiz, and it went really well. The preliminary round was done, and then final round we completed, and we even got paid to do that event. So that was a very important landmark, I would say, in the founding year of the quiz club. And I still remember that. So how did you manage to do that for central government employees? We did a quiz event. Yeah, it was very memorable.
Okay, that's nice. So, do you have any words to say about the current performance of the club and any piece of advice for your club juniors?
Yeah, definitely. I see, I do follow them on Instagram, and they do come up with frequent uh, activities like posting questions in the social media and engaging with the folks, which has been really good. Um, mm, yeah, so they can reach out to us anytime, through at least through this interview, if you are able to connect back to the juniors. When I passed out like 4 years, 5 years back, I was in touch with juniors for 2 to 3 years. After that, we couldn't stay in touch. But I hope that's something that we can look forward to connect to the present day juniors, and in case if they want any help from us, we can certainly extend. And or else we can just chat and see how's the current culture going on, because there's always this generational gap that is always fun to explore.
So, forming a club is definitely not possible without teamwork. So, they throughout the entire process, like who all helped you achieve the goal apart from your juniors?
Yeah. So first thing we started, we wanted to start a quiz club. We came up with a small draft of reasoning behind to. So it's basically a letter to dean asking to form a club, and we started writing this letter, and we initially sent it to our seniors who were passed outs, and 3-4 years passed out students, and we are all in the same quizzing enthusiast group. And they started reading this proposal and giving us feedback, and we really refined it. Refined it, and that really helped us. So support from people who are not anymore part of the college, just alumni, and they contributed to us a lot in providing just a moral support, and then, hey, just go for it, this is really good work. So those enthusiasm really helped. The second stage is the junior folks themselves. They are extremely patient with the administrative overhead that usually happens in our college. It takes time to get stuff done, multiple layers of processes, and we were patient about it, and we never stopped trying. We were always on the doors of Professor Swaminathan to get some time to again explain what we want to do. And his approval came at lot with a, it was a fruition of lot of effort went behind. And yeah, huge thanks to all of our seniors and the juniors who put a huge amount of work into this.
Okay. So, Was this whole experience of starting a new club any help for your future prospects, and what role did it play in shaping you into a person you are?
Yeah, certainly. I when I finished engineering, so I was from a computer science background, and I went directly into the placement. Took a job from campus, but somehow that didn't feel. I didn't feel connected to the role or job I was doing, and I wanted to do something else. And there was a phase where I sat and prepared for CAP exam to crack and get into the MBA field. So during that time, there is this exercise called writing statement of purpose. So every IIM asks for a or IIM Bangalore specifically asks for statement of purpose. It should be a 800-word document saying why you deserve this seat and what's been your life journey. And that was a point I sat and reflected on what happened during my entire life, and this quizzing became a very significant portion. And founding become a founding member of the quiz club during the final years, and taking the initiative and then doing all these things was a crucial, I would say, inflection point in my life. And that statement of purpose again helped me get an admit in Indian Institute of Management, Ahmedabad, where I did my MBA, and then now I'm a product manager in Microsoft. So yeah, the what did I do with my life? Yeah, I could have done just quizzing and then passed off as a participant or an audience. But no, I didn't stop there. I took an initiative to formalize this and help the upcoming generation of students in CEG, along with my juniors, to form a club. And we did it as a team, and all those memories and the effort that we put behind it certainly helped me find a purpose in my life. And that was a statement of purpose I wrote. And yeah, so that was really helpful, and that actually gave me a lot of confidence going forward to the MBA, especially in IIMs. If you go there, you'll find people from variety of backgrounds achieving so many things, and it is easy to get an imposter syndrome, and you might start doubting yourself whether you belong there. And certainly, this activity, the quizzing activity, helped me have some personal confidence in me. And I would certainly recommend all the students in the college to do participate in some extracurricular activity, because that will bring you some confidence in going forward and doing whatever you do. Go for a work or you go for higher studies, you will have something apart from books to pursue ahead as an interest. And that is what makes you uh, as a participant with that brings something to the table, anything you do. So yeah, do this extracurricular activity for me, especially quizzing, was very helpful.
Okay, that's something to be admired about. Thank you for your wise words. So, finally, what do you feel about the Club Founder Series initiative by Guindy Times?
Yeah, it's great. I've been looking at people people's interviews from. So I know there are twisters who do a lot of dance shows, and they are just a pride of CG. But I know a person called Solomon founded, and it happened way before I joined CG. But I don't know who he is. But you brought us that information, like you got him onto the interview, and it was so refreshing to see. And the founder of Akriti, you got her, and it was very memorable to see these folks who founded the clubs that we have seen during our college days. Yeah, thanks for doing this, and yeah, this conversation really helped me, live back these memories and share it with you folks.
I'm really glad, and thank you for your kind compliments. So, on behalf of Guindy Times, I would like to thank you for sparing your valuable time for this interview, and we wish you a very best for your future endeavors. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Rohit. Good speaking to you.